Hi traders, welcome to Elite Currency. My name is Chris, and as always, focusing on the euro dollar and pound dollar for the last 2 days of this week. Let's start with the euro dollar. This is the 4-hour chart, and the price is making the wave C as expected, broke through the support trend line, and is making lower lows and lower highs as price is approaching support. So this is what we were expecting, is that it could be a downside, but overall the downside is a correction, and we should be prepared, I think, in my view, for a turn back up. I was saying at the 50, 61, or 78.6 fib. So for the moment, it got close to the 50 fib, but not there entirely because price reached 117.75 rather than 117.57 officially. So it's about an 18 pip difference. These small difference, sometimes, you got to be careful with wanting an exact bounce. The market is not to the pip. So I think that at this moment, it is not really a good territory to still look for a continuation down necessarily. It could, maybe if it gets a little bit higher into resistance, there could be a little bit more space to the downside. Now, 50 fib is right around the corner. That does not look that appealing from a reward to risk perspective. Very small reward remaining at this point. So whether whether price will get to the zone, as I expect, remains to be seen. It would be nice if it could get to the 61.8 fib. But for the moment, it is making this wave C. I'm not sure though, I think knows, whether this wave C is finished. That remains to be seen. Let's take a look at the 1-hour chart. I think we can get some clarity. This trend line has been broken, we know that, so we can take that away. And if this is, for instance, well, it's a difficult formation here because it's quite choppy, so these corrections are always a little bit tricky, but if we put a fib from here to here, let me get rid of that fib from the upside then. In that case, let's zoom in a little bit to lower time frames here and take a look at this fib, for instance. And we can see that maybe price is making some kind of flag here, like this. Probably key resistance level for the moment is around 118.50. This top right in here. But price doesn't have to get that high. I think that price probably could already have some struggle here, right? But if it is a bear flag, it might just go sideways like that for an extended time. If it does that for a couple of hours extra and then breaks this flag, there could be a continuation from 118 to 117.50. Very small continuation. Or if it maybe makes a little bit more upside, gets up to 118.50 and then shows resistance, candlestick patterns at resistance, yes, there could be some upside then. However, if price starts to really show bullish momentums, be careful. Be very careful, because in that case, I would like to see small corrective candles kind of inch up higher into this zone. And there could be a small trade to the downside there, right? Maybe potential setup there. I'm not a big fan of it. I like much more waiting for price to get to support and waiting for 4-hour candlestick patterns at support and a bounce. That's personally what I prefer. But if there are strong 1-hour candles, once again, and then price starts to break above this zone here at 118.50 roughly, then there could be momentum and there could be a bull flag, and this could change the dynamic and there could be upside. This could indicate strong momentum pushing through these resistance levels and the moving averages, that this bearish correction is over. For the moment, we're also in this resistance trend line, by the way, so a break of that is not an uptrend right away because we have these resistance levels to deal with. But if there are strong candles breaking through that entire zone, that would change the dynamic of this chart very much, I think. So for the moment, in a downtrend, for the moment, expecting price to get lower, not that great trades to get there. If price breaks above this, there could be an uptrend. This could be completed ABC, and we have upside, and we can get new upside like this. If price does get lower, I'm expecting a bounce potentials at these three levels: 117.50, 117, 116.50 at these fib levels. So if price does indeed make, let me get rid of this trend line now. If price does make what I expect, wave 1, 2, then the upside could see a pretty sturdy move up, right? So it'll be interesting to see when this wave 2 finishes, potential wave 2, because that could be an interesting spot as wave 3 might develop. So The alternative is that this is an ABC and this is an entire expanded wave 4, and it's about 50-50 to be honest, I guess. Maybe slight advantage to the upside at this moment, but very close to 50-50. So, but if it is a wave, I still think that these are bouncing spots, so it still makes sense to look for bounce trades, I think, even though this could turn into expanded correction, because I think price, if anything, will at least retest this trend line. And if it bounces or breaks, that remains to be seen. All right, pound dollar. Well, retesting that broken resistance we talked about, and it's very close to that. I would consider it already more or less fulfilled. So that's something we discussed when price, was breaking here the second time, that it could hook back, and it could be support, and it could bounce. This is something that I will be looking for back to test this top in here. So let's take a look. For the moment, maybe we can even use this fib. All right, and this fib makes sense. I think someone mentioned this fib, and I think that is a better fib than the one I had. And I think that looking at this particular formation, prices at the 38.2 fib, bounce out to 23.6 fib. So this or the 50 fib is a likely bouncing spot. I'm not sure if it's going to be this one or that one. For the moment, it seems like it's respecting this level. You can see already 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth candle. So could be close to getting a bounce. Here we see a little bit on the hourly chart, a little bit of a, maybe even some kind of pattern like this, maybe either a descending wedge or a falling wedge. But in any case, if it breaks resistance here like this level obviously maybe would be good to see a break below these bottoms. If that happens, with good sturdy 1 hour candles pushing through it, and you get a bull flag, that also could be a good setup for continuation. So bullish momentum, flag, continuation seems likely on the pound dollar, right? On the hourly chart. If for whatever reason price moves up, but then sees rejection in this zone, right? Somewhere around here, let's put it like this. Around 134-ish area, 134.10. If it sees rejection here, then there's still a good, there's a chance that price could get down to the 50, which in turn would be also a bouncing spot. Bullish engulfing twins or any candlestick pattern at the 50 fib, I think could be interesting for an upside. So we'll have to see if price gets to the 50 fib like this or like this and bounces. That's what I'm waiting for. Or are there strong candles, flag, and continuation? That's the main scenario that I'll be keeping an eye on for the pound dollar, looking at these 4 hour and 1 hour charts. With regard to higher time frames, well, basically this could still be all a correction for more downside. I guess the Brexit talks will decide a little bit about that, right? Or maybe more than a little, but that was underestimation or under emphasis. But basically, for the moment, bullish momentum could see price at least challenge a little bit more this top. Will it break? I don't know, but we could see that continuation. If it does break below the 50 fib, by the way, then that might change things a little bit. You could see price maybe fall down to the 61.8 fib, then maybe the 78.6 fib, and there could be some more downside pressure. But really downside, big downside, I think, would have to occur below this bottom. And then there could be a good space to retest all the way this bottom. So that would be, more potential below 130 for pound dollar downside. That's it for today. Thanks for joining. Take a look at elitecurrency.com for more free analysis, materials, articles, PDFs, indicators, etc. Try the ECS start package, for instance, to get the free material there. And wish you all good trading. Cheers.